Insight, can you hear me okay? I'm going to switch over the screens now. Is everything coming through clear? I revamped the entire studio. Everything was completely rewired. We'll just, hey, J.A. Yeah, I just went through the entire thing today because I added in another MIDI controller. I literally just had to readjust the entire studio. Yeah, I even dusted. Yeah. Yeah, everything's all different in here. Especially on this side where that the big piano was. The piano didn't really have a good MIDI capability. It did, but it was too big to use in a small studio. So I put the piano in the other room and added in this here. You see the MIDI controller. Because everything here kind of doubles as, it's a recording studio. We create music in here. And it kind of, the extra thing is doing the stream. Which is why I don't have broadcast microphones. These are mostly recording microphones. I'm in the process of adding in 2 broadcast microphones, but damn, they're expensive. The ones I want, a little over $300 for 2 of them. But they'll be good. They're very similar to the ones Joe Rogan uses, the ones that I'm getting. Well, I had the full 88 key in here, and it's in another room now. And it just, that's what I've played my whole life is, a full-size piano. But for what I do, for just doing some recordings, if I need to do a piano ballad where I'm going to need the whole keyboard, then I'll pull the keyboard in here and just record the track. Or I'll just run a cord to the other room and record it that way. But for what I do in here, that's really all I need. And what I did was, if you remember, the rack used to be behind me. Now the rack is off to the side. Let me rotate the camera. You can see the rack there underneath the small Fender amp. So I can actually see it better while I'm talking now. I can see what's going on. If I need to adjust something, I can see it right away. So hello, I love bears. Lisa, Okie, how's it going? I'm just doing a test, but I figured, hey, if I'm going to be on, I might as well chat for a little bit. So that's what's going on right now. I'm planning on recording a food for thought segment, and I'll put that up probably tomorrow. And that's really all I'm going to do. I'll still do live streams, but just not that often. I'll still do them. But how is the sound? Is it overmodulated? I was pretty sure I had everything set where I wanted it to be. If it's overmodulated, just tell me. I want to make sure it's not too loud. I'm glad, truth be told, I'm glad we don't have a lot of people in here. I didn't plan on doing this, monstrous stream if I could get a couple of people in here to help me out with the sound and make sure everything is coming through okay. Okay. It sounds clean, but it could be a tad higher. Okay, let me, I got a few steps to go before I start redlining. How is that? Is that any better? Now, I brought it up a couple of clicks there. That's better? Okay. Well, at least I know where I need to be. Good. Yeah, it's funny. Spending years doing analog to tape, like reel to reel recordings, on, I had two 40-4 Tascams, eventually moved up to the 80-8 8-track, half-inch tape. And then, I mean, the biggest studio I ever recorded in was, a full 1-inch tape, 16-track studio. But it was all analog. There was none, today the digital sound is so different, so difficult to get a grasp of, especially in broadcast. It's hit or miss at first. And I don't rely on a lot of, hey, just press this button, like the normalize button. No. So little by little, I'm understanding a little more of the digital. And let me go ahead and hey, Pastry, do you want to jump in Discord so I can test the sound from Discord if you get a chance? I'll go ahead and turn it on so I can hear you when you come in. I have to test it out. Okay, can you hear me, Pastry?
1 sec.
Okay, that's quiet. I'm only getting that in one ear.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Do you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, you're real quiet, so.
I need to mute myself on the other thing.
Well, I think I have you gated a little too much. Okay, just keep talking, and I can get a decent adjustment here.
All right, so what's going on with you?
I'm
the
just
other channel.
Yeah, I'm just testing this stuff out because I took the big piano out and put it in another room because it was taking up too much room in here. Especially when I have my brother in here, we don't fit in this little corner very well. So I took that out, moved the racks over to here, and then I just have you can see where I'm pointing right now, the MIDI controller. And that's what I'm going to use as far as just recording, basic stuff. If I have to record a full piano thing, then I'll just run a chord.
Okay.
I have the piano in Gavin's room because he's been really, really playing it a lot. So I'm letting him, and if I want to play piano, I'll just go in there and play it. But as far as in here, there's so much more room in here, having moved all that out. And you can see, Pastry, I'll turn the camera. I have the rack now over there where it used to be behind me.
Okay.
And I have the whole guitar set up over there.
All right, sweet.
Which it makes it a lot easier for me because I don't have anything on the floor. I don't need pedals on the floor or anything like that because I'm recording. I don't need to click back and forth. So I have
more sound padding, I think.
What's that?
You put up more wall padding?
No, that padding's always been there. I've run it down almost the full length of the wall.
Okay.
It's always been there. But now at the end, I'm going to try to really turn this camera so you can see it. Hold on a second. You can see the guitar. The Gretsch is hanging on the wall.
Okay.
So, yeah, it just, I think for what we use it for, this is probably the best bet. Hey, everybody, what's that?
What new equipment did you get yourself?
I bought all brand new microphone cords and all new 1/4-inch cords, everything, all brand new, rewired the entire system. And then I got put the MIDI controller in over here. Which I have to say, having a MIDI controller when recording, is so much easier. Oh my God. I mean, basically everything I've been recording, I haven't quantized anything, so I've had to, play extra careful. So, I've played to make sure everything was timed. I think that's what made some of the last few things I recorded sound so thick, because they weren't quantized like perfectly on exact time. They might vary a millisecond off, which thickens the sound a little bit. It has that real feel to
I'll
it.
take your word for it.
What do you mean?
You're talking lingo. I don't.
Oh, okay.
So.
When you quantize something in digital recording, like if you're slightly off, it just by a millisecond off, it'll lock it on. It'll move it for you.
Okay.
When you record digitally like MIDI. So what I've been doing with my full size piano is I've been just playing, basically analog and just recording the sound. And what it does is it gives you a real thick sound because it has that real feel to it. Where you might be a little quick here and there by a millisecond, a little late here and there by a millisecond, and it just thickens everything up. So when you come down like on a hit, on a note, the bass may start a millisecond early and the guitar slightly late, so it just thickens that area up. So they actually changed a lot of drum machines. They changed them to have what they call real feel, which makes them slightly off. And they do it intentionally. So I thought that was interesting.
Undeterminable by the ear, but
yeah, but it thickens it up just the same.
Okay.
So is anybody else in the chat that can tell me how Discord sounds? It seems a little quiet on my end.
I don't know how it's going out over YouTube, but it's not 100% clean.
Is it distorted?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, because I have it cranked up going into Discord. Is it too loud?
Right there when you were speaking more softly, it's pretty clear, but there's a little bit on the end.
Okay, so I'm going to drop that down just a little bit so I can speak at my normal level. How's that sound? Is that better?
It sounds good, but it's like little bits and pieces, not constantly like you're losing signal on a cell phone. Things get a little...
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you're crystal clear at my end. Actually, Discord is actually more clear than it has been in a long time. So usually I'm having all kinds of hissing and humming from it. But right now it actually sounds pretty good. So I don't mind that too much.
New wiring.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got a lot of monster cables with the gold ends, stuff like that, Makes a big difference. I want to get a monster rack unit, basically a power conditioner. My friend showed me the sound. He hooked up this thing into the power outlets, and it basically shows you all the radio frequency, the different noise frequencies that are coming through your power outlets. And he goes, this is why your electronic equipment sounds weird sometimes. And he goes, and now you plug in the monster thing. And then he hooked up the same system to it, and it couldn't detect anything. So
it basically synchronizes things.
Well, it just cleans up all the noise that actually comes through grounding and stuff like that. You don't even realize, like hisses and stuff that you normally would get. Like I can hear a slight hum in the background that happens in most electronic gear. But what I want to get is the power that, what do you call it, from the monster unit. It's a couple $100, but oh my God, the difference it makes. Most of the studios run them, but there's a ton of things I want to get. Like I got my eyeballs on two broadcast microphones right now that I'm just dying to get.
Well, now you've got justification for it.
Well, yeah. I tried to think I got justification, but they're kind of the same ones Rogan uses. They're just really, really good. And I mean, they're under 200 each. Just kind of barely under 200, but 180 each. and I don't have to worry about the cords. Like, my brother's constantly moving his hands and whacking the cord on the stream, and it makes that big noise.
Okay.
So I'm going to this one, the actual the cord runs through the arm. It's not even there. It's not
Right.
part
Yeah.
of
I've
the
seen
arm.
on
Yeah.
Rogan's things. It's just really up away and neat.
Yeah. So I'm kind of going, yeah, that's what I want. So and it just, yeah, the quality, the sound quality, like they gives when I was at Guitar Center, I was checking out all the, and you can listen to the difference between all the microphones that have like 10 or 12 microphones set up, and you just go down the line and press on the button, and you're talking through each one with just a clean, no effects, no nothing. And when I got to those microphones, they're made by Shure, and I got to them, which kind of made me question broadcast mics made by Shure, But anyway, when I talked into them, I'm like, you got to be kidding me for this price? I mean, they're as good as any $500 or $600 mic.
Okay.
So I was pretty happy with them. But I mean, there's, I've always, me, I've always got my eyeball on something to make the studio better. Always.
Right.
I'm actually looking at an automated board that will connect completely to the computer and will allow me to record 8 lines separately at the same time, which you can't really do through a basic interface. You get, 1 line. That's it. Or you can record a bunch of things, but it's only going to go into 1 track. Well, the automated boards I'm looking at can record 8 tracks at the same time and mix them down separately. That I'm really, really wanting to do. Because that'll really, it just helps.
So what would you need like 8 separate tracks for?
Like if I wanted to
understand it for like a music recording for different instruments.
Okay.
Vocals,
well, yeah, like
that.
If I wanted to, like stuff that I'll record in here with 2 or 3 different people at the same time. Well, if one of them's a little overpowering, I'll just mix that out after.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if I want to record, a drum set or record, like what I like to do, like when I record an acoustic guitar, I want to record one with a microphone on, the opening on the guitar, but then I want a microphone on the fretboard too.
Interesting. Okay.
And then I want like an overhead ear microphone. And then I want to be able to adjust those after. I think it's really important to hear the finger sound on the strings. A lot of people don't like it. I think it sounds too...
No, if you want the proper unplugged sound, that's part of it.
Yeah, and you want the air sound too. Whatever the guitar is projecting into the room, you want the space microphone. I learned this from a guy that was recording acoustic guitars and drum sets. And what he would do is he would
something a little bit away from the
yes,
source.
And you want something like in the room, like really good drum room is very, very big. They're not small. And then you have 2 microphones sitting out in the room that are just recording the air, that stuff that's bouncing off all the walls. And then you can bring that up in the mix after. And you can adjust the level of that.
Drums, you gotta have a for lack of better terms, well-tuned place that acoustically.
Yeah. And with an acoustic guitar, it's the same thing. I want to be able to mix down those 3 tracks after for the amount of fret noise I want, the amount of room noise I want, and then the acoustic guitar itself. It's like you remember when I was we were in Discord and I was playing on the guitar, and I said I really like to have my microphone on because then I get the pick noise and the fret noise. Remember that I was telling you that?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. It just changed everything. Like when I turn my mic off and I play and I'm like, yeah, it's good, but if I want that sound, like there's certain sounds like with the electric guitar, there are sometimes I don't want that sound, but if I'm trying to get more of an acoustic sound, that strumming sound, then I want it. So so that's why, not to get too My brother was listening. I just saw him. He was listening to this when I was saying about him hitting the microphone cord. Yeah, John, everything's all set up. I'm getting occasional static from something. Yeah, it's not from me. It's probably from your lousy headphones.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
from my side, I'm still getting the same occasional, garble, like losing signal,
well,
but it's few and far between.
are you getting it on Discord though?
Correct.
Yeah, and that's because it's gated going into Discord. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the gate a little bit so you don't get that. And that's probably what I needed to do before. Okay. Okay, now you're probably getting a little bit more. Now that the hum that I'm getting right now is from Discord. That right there, you can hear me bringing the volume up. That's the Discord sound. If I cut Discord out completely, it's crystal clear. I don't get any sound, any of that hum. As soon as I go to bring Discord in, and that's because of the way I have it situated. I don't have it on I have it doubling up, so we're getting a little bit of noise because it's doubled up to be able to talk back and forth. And that's how I get away with it right now. And that's the cause of a little bit of noise coming from that end. But it sounds good otherwise. Okay. Hold on a second, Pastry. I'm going to shut off Discord for a second. Now, that's without Discord at all, John. So how does it sound now? Now there shouldn't be any problems, any clicks or clacks or static or anything. Because the static that you were probably hearing was coming from Discord. Yeah, it's crystal clear now. Yeah. What I have to do is I have to rig up it a little different as far as if I'm going to run Discord. I like the way I do it because it gives me control over when they're in and when they're not, rather than hooking it up on the same computer. I have Discord on a different computer and I'm feeding back and forth. So it should be. I'll bring Discord back up. Yeah, you get that little low end that hum. That's only because, like I said, it's feeding out of the main line out into Discord, and then it's and then it's going back in. Storms, what are you talking about? You can't see my ugly mug. My ugly mug's right here. It's right here. It's right here. Yeah, I'm glad there's not a lot of people in here. Because like I said, oh no. Oh, I see. You want to see? Oh, okay. You want the full screen version of me? Okay, hold on. Is that better, Storms? Is that better? Hey, John, you see that's the new controller, the little MIDI controller. Hey, H-Bug. And John, you can see now the rack is over there now with the guitar amp on top. Yeah, everything is set up a lot differently. Got some new chords, so it's getting there. We'll be all set to do some more reactions this week on the other channel. Got a lot more space, John. A lot more space. Oh my God, a lot more space. Wait till this table is gone. No, the snakes are right over here still. They're on the other side. I turned the mics around so you don't see any snakes. They're still there, though. Trust me, they're there. The glass from the snake container is literally right behind the camera. That's my brother Storms. That's the other channel that we do. 40 plus. That's the channel my brother and I do. New person took my wrench. So, anyway. Yeah, the next thing I do is I have to put a table up that we can hook the mics up to. Yeah, my brother beat a lot of people in fantasy football. He has the Indiana Jones syndrome. Yeah, he doesn't want to come in this house. We have 12 snakes in this house. The small ones are in this room. The biggest one in this room, I think, is 7 feet. Yeah, most of them are small.
What kind is the 7-foot one?
Red tail. That's my red tail Yaz. The one Yastrzemski. That's his full name. I just call him Yaz.
Just call him Carl.
Oh no! See, now this baseball season, everybody's talking Astros and how they cheated to win the World Series, and oh my God, I'm so tired of the drama. All the babies. I mean, I love baseball season as long as the Red Sox and Yankees are playing each other. The rest of it sucks.
Go Yankees.
Whatever. You don't talk like that in my stream.
Well, it's not my fault the Sox sucked last year.
Yeah, the XFL is looking pretty good. Yeah. They need to do a fantasy football league for the XFL.
What's the fantasy ratings?
I don't know. But here, the thing about it is we actually have the XFL headquarters right here. It's the old Ranger Stadium now that they have the new dome that's just about finished. And yeah, so the old Ranger Stadium has been reconverted, and it's going to be the XFL headquarters.
Okay.
Yeah, John, don't talk about the Sox. I know they're bad right now.
But that's going on the premise that the XFL will survive.
Yeah. Well, I think they will. You don't want to know why? Because the NFL sucks so bad that I think the XFL will do just fine.
I guess we'll see. Is it still the same, arena, only a 50-foot or 50-yard field and all that?
No, though, that's arena football. That's not XFL.
Oh, that's right.
XFL's on the regular field. Yeah, arena football. My God, that's fun. I've been to an arena football game before. Dear God, that's awesome.
So with XFL, are the rules basically the same, or are there slight differences?
They're not candy asses. There's not a whole lot of crying. There's not. They just want to play the game. Fewer flags, like John was saying. They don't cry when someone gets hit hard. You know. It is what it is. Look, if you want to stop people from hitting too hard in football and people getting seriously injured, go back to leather helmets and fewer pads. Go back to where the game was played with, played with decent, quality, and men were men, and yeah. Anyway,
way back in your day.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, Slap, I just came on to test because we set up I just changed everything around in the studio and put a bunch of new chords in here and decided to move some things around to make it more conducive. And it's almost done. It's almost there. And man,
just an FYI, on my side, I'm still getting that same little bit of distortion or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's because of the crosstalk. Now, as soon as I shut this down, like you being able to talk back in here, that will literally go away. And that's only because, like I said, I have things cycling through, so I have to keep it at a certain volume, or else we'll get some massive electronic feedback. It's just because of the way I have it hooked up. It's actually like coming out of the board, going into Discord, and then coming back into the board again. So it's cycling through twice.
Okay.
So that's why the hum and all that's coming from. And that's how I've been doing it.
Sort of tripping over itself.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Now, what I'd like to do, truth be told, is run it through one of the effects loops so I can adjust it that way. And this way, what I could actually do is, like, if I had someone on the phone and I had that hooked up, then I could probably have a conversation with you guys and turn the phone off like they couldn't hear me. Like they couldn't hear you, but they could hear me. That kind of thing. I would be at it. That's why I'm pretty sure that eventually I'm going to end up running Discord through the effects loop. So that would allow me to completely control which people, like if I had multiple people in here, like one person could talk to the Discord. That's kind of the way you screen phone calls. Like if I had an extra person in here screening phone calls, I'd run the phone through the effects loop. And then they could basically say, okay, no one's going to hear this, and turn it down. And then they could have a conversation with the person on the phone. And then when they wanted to bring them on the air, they could, which is the flip of a switch.
Okay.
So, and truth be told, I would do that, but I would constantly be on the board. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather just talk. So just leave it there and deal with a little bit of a hum and get over it. You know? Oh, well. I think that's about it. I think we've tested everything. Is you're digging that screensaver? Oh, the one that's coming from the iMac behind me. There's both of them that have that same screensaver going right now, and we could mess that up just by hitting the button and then hitting the button. There, no more screensaver. Did I mess up your day now?
Yeah,
Storms
take a couple
was
extra meds and just keep
Storms
trying.
was having an acid trip on my screensaver. I'm digging my new refrigerator. It kind of ruined vacation plans, but it's nice. Ended up getting a Whirlpool with the.
Yeah, I'm too used to stuff in a restaurant. I would never want anything but a side by side.
Yeah, it's got the double French doors, and then it's got the freezer on the bottom.
The freezer is down low.
Yeah, but it's got a middle drawer for like fruits and produce and stuff like that, and it's got humidity control like compartments in there, so you can adjust the humidity for fruit so it doesn't spoil, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on it. Plus, of course, it has the water dispenser and the ice crusher, and then you can just press the button and say, I only want 8 ounces of water, or 16, or it tells you how many ounces of water you're putting in your drink, which is kind of cool. So
I don't know. I'm crazy. I just measure it.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Look.
Well, water's 1-to-1 by weight to volume. So
yeah. Well, I mean, think about this. We were looking at freaking refrigerators made by a phone company, Samsung, that had like a computer screen on the damn door that was huge. And it was like an iPad or something on your door. It was a tablet, and it was just, monstrous touch button and everything. And this is, I swear, this is to keep the females in the friggin' kitchen. Why aren't the feminists like up in arms about that? Because I really think it's like, oh, we're just going to keep them. They can watch their whatever on the TV screen while they're cooking their man dinner. It's just like, really? Why aren't the feminists crying about that? And then, because it's too hard to just open up the door and look inside, there's cameras inside. And when you press on the screens that are on both sides of the doors, all it does is light up as if you're looking through a window and you're looking inside the refrigerator.
Are things cold in there? Click. Yes.
Well,
I
it's
do
just,
not understand that stupid shit.
yeah, I mean, it's like, and the guy was trying to show us, just like, look, you could see what's inside. And I'm like, isn't that what they open the doors for? Just open the door and look. It's just, all that
He's just
extra
trying to
money.
sell the top end to make money.
Yeah, all that extra money so you can have some new gadget that really doesn't make any sense and it's really not needed. It just drives me nuts. Yeah, you know what's inside. You went to Kroger to buy it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, but you open up the door, Slap. You open up the door to look inside. That's normal. Why do you? I don't understand it. It's just like it's another thing that can go wrong. You know, the owner of my company was telling me, because when he bought a refrigerator, he bought the Samsung, and he's like, "Don't buy a refrigerator that's made by a phone company." He goes, "Just don't do it." And I said, no, I bought the Whirlpool. That's an appliance company, you know? Holy cow. Anyway. You can call. Well, no, the fridge now is all Wi-Fi. Okay, that's the thing. Yes, you can call your fridge from the store. That's okay. If you, and this is how you're going to laugh. This is how they sold it. They said, hey, when you are at the store, if you're thinking, hey, do I have ketchup? Do I need ketchup? They will plug into their refrigerator from their phone and look in their refrigerator. And it'll tell them if they have ketchup.
How about making just a fucking list?
Yes. How about making a list? That's what I do. Guys make lists. We do that kind of thing because we forget. Plus, guys like to finish a project, so we check things off. Okay?
Yeah, just use a notepad on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what a pen and paper are for. So you're going to, okay, now look, to get a refrigerator with all the bells and whistles like that on it, you're not paying $2,200 like we paid for our refrigerator. It's still a lot of money for a refrigerator. No, you're paying $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for one of these refrigerators that you can call from the flipping store. You check off all the time. I check out all the time.
I just get, like I said, I would just get one from a restaurant supply place.
You know, I've seen one of those refrigerators. They're monstrous. They're huge. It's like a decent
sizes.
It's like a decent stove. Like when I go to the places and we're looking at stoves, I mean, most of the homes, like if you rent a home or something, they have a simple 4-burner space that you can put a 4-burner stove in there. That's not a real stove. Look, if you want to cook on a real stove, first off, you want gas first. You want a real flame under what you're cooking, and then you want at least 6 burners. Okay? I mean, because you need that. You're cooking a meal, you want different temperatures. You know, flipping from one to the other. You got different things going. You're going to, and if truth be told, if you're cooking a full, say, 3-course meal, you're going to be using them all. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I can't stand, I have a ceramic stove in this house, and it kills me. I don't even like using it. I want
the induction burners.
What's that?
Induction burners.
Well, no, it's just a ceramic top. The ceramic plates underneath the heat up. There's nothing. It's just a glass top to a stove. Yeah. I can't stand. I can't stand it. Like the last home that I owned, when we got it, you know, we had to get me and my first wife. We had to get a stove for it, and I said, "Does it have a gas hookup?" And it did. It had a gas hookup. I said, "Good, we're getting a gas stove." And you know, the gas stove was so cheap compared to the electrics and the ceramic top stoves. I paid like $300 for this stove. Oh my God, it was amazing. Hooked it up, filled up the gas, you know, they topped it off like every month. That was it. And I love this thing. It was amazing. Oh my God. I couldn't go wrong on this thing. It's like cooking pasta sauce. You can cook a 2-day sauce in that and you never have to worry about you overcooking it. You can turn the burners down way low. I couldn't say enough about it. Love it.
Right.
And, you know, and I love stir fry. Try doing real true stir fry in a big wok. I have a really big wok.
You need a stove that's got balls. You need
a
burner that's
Try cooking on a wok and doing stir fry on a freaking ceramic top stove.
You can't.
You have natural gas provided by broccoli.
So that's serious recycling. You eat the broccoli, it gives you gas. You cook more broccoli.
Slap Weasel, I have a question for you. If friction creates heat and heat boils water, how long would it take a monkey to rub his ass up against a frying pan and boil a cup of water?
What's the pan made out of? How hairy is it?
3 minutes.
Variables for coefficients of friction.
You think a monkey could rub his ass up against a frying pan in 3 minutes? He could boil a cup of water.
Here's the other thing: to rub it up his ass, it would have to be on its side, and all the water would fall out. So it's really moot.
Well, no, maybe he's like lying on his back with his knees into his face and rubbing the frying pan on his ass. Hey, you guys can come up with a time period. I can come up with a position.
I'm not touching that.
Oh my God. Anyway, guys, I am going to shut this thing down. I have tested longer than I expected to test. So, remember, guys, I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing probably 1 or 2 episodes of Food for Thought that I'll upload tomorrow. I have some stuff to upload on the other channel, so I'll be doing that probably tonight or tomorrow. I think I'll do one. I'll upload one tonight, and then I'll do one tomorrow if my brother's still listening. And then, I got a couple of Food for Thought episodes that I'm going to post. And I'm trying to stay away from the political arena, but God, it's so tasty right now. It's so tasty because it's absolute flipping chaos.
Democratic meltdown.
I've never seen a party just look like the deer in the headlights. I mean, Pelosi looks like she's got that I just got banged by the neighbor's cat look on her face. I mean, it's just I'm sorry. It just makes me laugh.
Hanging over a pool of sharks and somebody started bleeding.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, thanks a lot for helping me do the sound check. And I'm going to shut this thing down. I'll be in Discord chatting if anybody wants to come into there. So thanks a lot, guys. I will see you all later.